Top-tier candidates in both the lieutenant governor and governor races joined KITV4 last night for a live debate at the convention center.
And this morning, KITV4's Aaron Coogan is in Pearl City speaking with longtime Hawaii political analyst Dan Boylan, who's been breaking down the different debates. Aaron?
Yeah, good morning to you, Leo Maleka. Well, we've broken down the lieutenant governor debate, the Democratic gubernatorial debate, and the Republican gubernatorial debate. Now we're going to talk about some takeaways, Dan, that you had overall from the night.
Well, I think without question, the major takeaway is that this is going to be known as the election about housing. Everybody brought it up. Lieutenant governor candidates, the gubernatorial candidates, all of them are constantly facing this problem, and it's getting worse because we're losing population. Vicky Cayetano pointed out we're losing population because kids can't stay here. And I think at least 2 or 3, maybe more of the people in the 3 races that were interviewed yesterday, they pointed out that somebody that they knew, either their own kid or another kid or what have you. I've heard Governor Ige say he'd like to have all of his kids back home, but how do you get them back home?
Did any of those candidates, last night address that issue in a way that was tangible for yourself?
I think they all attempted to, but the problems are immense. Namely, there's all of the money buying up housing, sometimes for winter housing for people from the mainland, winter housing for people from Japan, winter housing for people from any place in the world if you've got money to buy a place that you can afford to buy in Hawaii to come every year. Now that means that a local person, has to compete, and the person who are selling housing or producing them has got to compete against an international house buying population that wants to be in one of the more beautiful places in the world.
Of the gubernatorial candidates, did anyone rise to the top on any of the other issues, high taxes, diversification of our economy?
Well, I think several of them spoke about cutting taxes, particularly picking up a Republican argument that's been made for quite some time now about food and medicine. We should not put an excise tax on those goods. They're absolutely important to people. Otherwise, I didn't hear anything except, yes, we have to do this, but how precisely do we do it? Except somehow or another, and I think she's got an argument, maybe we should try somebody who is in business or knows business. Sherry McNamara made that argument Menorah McNamara made that argument for the lieutenant governorship, and of course Vicky Cayetano made it for the governorship. But again, I would say I thought, particularly in regard to the people running 3 principal candidates for the Democratic nomination, which is probably going to be the next governor, that I thought they did well, and to the extent that any of these issues, thorny issues, could be dealt with, I thought that they did fairly well in presenting their case.
Just lastly, was there anything surprising to you, or was there anything that any of the candidates lacked that you wanted to see?
Well, as I was pointing out earlier, I think that the moderation has been successful for Republicans on a statewide level, in the person of Linda Lingle, and in national offices, House and Senate. But I was taken back, I think, a little by their, right to life, Second Amendment constitutional right to own a gun, to have weapons. And I think somehow I thought that Republicans who had reached that height trying for a statewide level might be more moderate than they were, particularly on those 2 issues. Hard to be moderate on those issues, but they were not.
Dan, thank you for breaking it down all morning long. We really appreciate it.